into a Patreon episode of Loud About Nothing. It's me, your boy, the hottest dude in the podcast game, Sebastian Conelli. And as always, we got the cute boy himself, Robbie Boy. Robbie, say hello to the beautiful people.
Beautiful people, what's going on? Finished my second book in 2 years. 0 books the 10 years before that.
Let's cheers the books. Sarah J. Mass, thank you so much. We've completed your book.
Thank you, Sarah J. Mass.
It has actually made me feel good to finish a book in September. To start a book and finish a book.
Yes, it did feel good.
Because we're back to school.
Yes.
We love back to school.
I get it. I get why people read.
Why is that?
I get it all. It was fun. It was a fun book.
Why do you get why people read? Why do you think people read?
Because it's a nice accomplishment. You feel productive.
You feel like you got something done.
You feel, this was nonsense, but it's like, you don't feel like you did, well, not most people. My old roommate, you bet your ass, he felt like he was accomplishing something when he finished a movie. And there's certain people that are actors. If you're an actor, I think that some people, and I think movies are great, and I think you could learn a lot, and there's a lot of introspection, and you can get a lot of the same stuff from movies that you can get from books. But this book is a movie, you know what I mean, but that's fiction.
I guess we should be giving ourselves more things that that we accomplished that are easy.
That's the 10,000 steps. I think that's why people love the 10,000 steps.
Because it's easy?
It's an accomplishment. No, it's just like you feel accomplished every day. I think it was easier.
When?
Before COVID.
To get 10,000?
People were just out. They would be working. You would have to move a lot more.
And
I was getting 10,000. I didn't even track it, and I was getting 10,000 steps a day.
I hate when
almost
people
every day.
say, "Oh, we're living like Wall-E now."
I never seen Wall-E.
Neither have I. I don't want to see it because I hate how people speak about it.
Okay.
But I know that
I want to see it.
You want to see it?
Yeah. I need to rewatch Coco.
I don't like the way people just rewatch it.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, of course.
I didn't get a question right about it at trivia.
Well, that's mortifying.
Yeah.
That's mortifying.
And I say it's my favorite movie.
Really?
One of.
And you didn't get the question
I've only
right.
seen it once, so I can't really call it my favorite movie because I've only seen it once.
You cannot call it your favorite movie if you've seen it once.
It made me sob.
You don't even know what it's about. You saw it on a plane?
I sobbed on a plane.
To say your favorite movie, to claim something's your favorite movie and you only saw it one time on a 6-inch screen is absurd, Rob.
I was sobbing. I don't want to sob.
You cannot say my favorite movie was on a 6-inch screen that I saw it on 20,000 feet in the air.
All right, maybe I'll try again.
You just can't, Robbie.
Why? Do you need? What if you see a painting once in passing? Can you say it's your favorite painting?
Yeah, because I'm seeing the painting in the setting that they desired. The painting was meant to be seen in a gallery.
Okay.
Now here's the thing: if I was taking a dump. And I looked next to me, and someone printed out a small little painting, a picture of the painting, and put it on the wall.
And you saw it, and you were like, "That's amazing."
I can't be like, "That's my favorite painting of all time."
Okay.
No.
It's about location, so I need to watch it.
If you saw it in the movies, if you saw it at home,
all right, maybe I'll go to the movies and watch it next time it's available.
Yeah, that would be good, and then you could claim it.
Yes.
I like Coco a lot. I think that you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I do think it will remain your favorite movie.
Yes.
I want to get that clear.
Yeah.
I think it's a great favorite movie choice.
Yes.
Especially, it's it's right in your wheelhouse.
Yes.
Right? I think it's amazing, especially it's a good move first, a good movie choice.
Yes.
I just don't like your criteria.
Okay. I need to watch it. I agree.
Robbie's sick. And what he's sick with is touching his face.
I am sick with that.
He has a disease, and it's called new beard disease. Robbie has new beard disease.
I have beard disease.
And it's a bad disease.
I got a beard.
He got a beard, and he can't stop touching.
I got a beard.
I see the tongue coming out, licking the stash. I see him sucking the bottom. I see him rubbing his face.
I'm licking the stash?
I see you licking the stash.
How many times? During the podcast?
Everywhere, Robbie.
No, I'm not licking the stash.
Robbie, you are licking the stash,
Oh, no.
you're sucking the goatee, and you're rubbing the cheeks. You
I
got
know I'm
new
rubbing the cheeks.
You're sick with new beard disease.
I have new beard disease.
And here's the thing, I'm not blaming you.
Okay.
New beard disease strikes many a man.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Many
I was
people.
warned about it. You got to get through the itchy phase.
Well, you're not doing a good job.
I am not good with things. I
Quote of the day.
chewed my strings of hoodies when I was a kid.
Please.
I chewed this when I was a kid. I used to chew bottle caps.
What's this?
Hoodies. I would
Oh,
eat.
I thought you just meant your wrist.
No. Did you eat, like, which is gross, but I see
chewed
pictures
through my hands.
where I would chew the
He's
sleeves
stigmata
of my-
himself. That's how Jesus did it too. He was just anxious.
Okay.
Either my son has been called to by Jesus Christ, or he's got an anxiety disorder. You chewed through your feet.
No, I didn't do that.
Oh,
But
okay.
I just touch a lot.
No,
I fidget a lot.
You got new beard disease.
I would chew pens. I would never have a pen, and I would borrow pens, and then I would chew the cap.
It's hard when we're
Which
doing
is gross.
I look over sometimes when we're doing the podcast, and I actually thought you were about to rip a mole off of your body.
Really?
That mole on your arm, look at it. No, on the back of the bicep.
This?
I thought that you were gonna pull that right off of you.
When did I do that?
You were literally plier fingers, and
Squeezing it?
squeezing and pulling out.
Incredible. Yeah, I don't know.
And I was scared for your
I
skin.
must-
I sat you down the other day to be telling you my fears about your skin.
Yeah, I'm picking at it too much.
He's picking at his skin so much that he's making it worse.
Yeah.
And you just got new beard disease.
Yeah, I might shave it.
Also didn't sit him down serious. I get worried that people think what I say is so dramatic. I actually feel I'm not worried. I say, Rob, you're touching your face a lot. Don't do it.
He's just like, you're gonna get wrinkles.
You are gonna get wrinkles.
That's what people say.
Yeah.
So I'm now trying to massage. And
I
not
never
pull.
see you have pimples, and you have a pimple on your chin.
I know. I have pimples now.
You have pimples now. You're making
I know. I'm stressed. I'm not doing well.
you're just rubbing.
I'm not sleeping well. I'm not doing well.
Can I get you something for your hands
What do you mean?
to keep your hands busy?
Yeah, I gotta find them. I'm gonna shave. I don't think
I
it
know.
looks good.
No, it doesn't matter. I think it does look good. But here's the thing,
Really?
Robbie. Robbie, I want to get you something to support you.
Well, I don't think I look that good. This cute woman came in my job yesterday,
And what?
and I'm telling my friend about her because she said that she has taken stuff with him too, and I'm like, I gotta fucking show up looking good at this job. What am I doing? I'm showing up yesterday in my glasses, rolled out of bed with a hat on and this shitty beard. I'm like, I gotta look good here. What am I doing? I forget that I work at a spot that, like, I don't know. It's a spot, my job. And I gotta show up looking good.
There we go.
You
You
never
do
know
work
who's
at-
gonna come in.
You do work at a gym, and people that I would say this. If I had to pick between two trainers, one was a troll, and one was an Adonis. I would choose the Adonis. If I had to be taught how to do an athletic activity,
Yeah.
from someone
I
that
gotta look a little hot.
has a mustard stain and one contact in, versus someone who's fresh off a ice bath.
Well, it depends on what activity. I would take
if
the
I was-
mustard stick. That sounds
Only,
like a good
only
coach.
Joey Chestnuts is going. I found
sounds
my
like a
guy,
good
right?
coach.
Only Joey Chestnuts.
What are we talking? Boxing? I guess. I don't know.
You want
I think of like coaches are not always. I don't know. They don't have to be what their students are.
I get that, but I think for gym, I guess in a gym.
Yes, I agree.
In a gym, I guess Andy Reid doesn't have to be a football
Andy
player.
Reid, baby, I love
Andy Reid doesn't have
He
to
played
be.
football.
Yes, and then he
And he
became
was
an old
good.
man.
He was good at football.
And then he was like, I'm going to settle into being an older man.
Yeah.
And he did, which is beautiful. I'm happy for him.
I'm happy for him too.
You're not an old man.
Andy Reid's probably my favorite Mormon.
I got to watch this new show,
What?
The Mormon Show.
What is it?
It's on Hulu. It's about the Mormon TikTok wives.
Wait, really?
And they're all sleeping with each other's husbands, and they're all getting stressed, and they're all slamming sodas when they're stressed.
They're sleeping with each other's husbands?
Yeah, they're like cheating on each other. They're like, I heard blah blah. I had a cup of coffee.
The thing about these conservative men, I don't think a lot of them please their wives well. Hot take.
Not the least hot take I've ever heard.
I think that
I think that most people assume that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? If they don't care about their health, why would they care about them coming?
Yeah, you're right.
If I loved my wife, I would first. No offense, I would first care about her health over coming.
Yes.
Call me wild.
Yes.
Call me wild.
But you would for sure care about her coming.
Because that's how much I care about her health.
Of course. Absolutely. I agree.
Right? So that's...
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the book. We're bullshitting.
I want to make conservative wives not really.
They're conservative too.
I know, but they're trapped. They need to be saved.
They're not...
You're right. I know.
They're making choices.
They are. Anyways, we leave the book before we learn the premise of the whole situation.
Tell the premise.
So we learn about the curse.
Don't ask, tell.
There's a woman named Aramantha, and she desires Tamlin. Well, I guess we got to back up to
Chapter 32.
There was a war. There's a lot going on. There was a war, and between Hybern is not is fairies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hybern has fairies and Perinthian has fairies.
Yes.
And then what do we call the area that doesn't have any fairies?
The human area?
Yeah. No name.
I don't know.
So there was a war between Hybern and Perithian, or there was a conflict between Hybern and Perithian.
Yes.
And they were trying to decide whether or not they were going to just...
The mortal lands, they call it.
So they were going to kill... They were trying to kill the mortal lands.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to kill a bunch of mortal lands people. And Aramantha she was not great. She was a not great person in this war conflict. And her sister was also in the war conflict. And her sister fell in love with a human. And she falls in love with a human. And then Aramantha loves her sister so much that even though she hates humans, she's like, whatever. She can't find herself to do bad things, I guess, to the humans. And it bites her. It comes back to bite her. And Aramantha's sister's human boyfriend was just using her to get information about the war. Which I don't understand how the humans have any ability to win this war, given the technology that they have at the time.
David versus Goliath kind of situation.
Yeah.
You still got to be in the fight.
I guess. So this guy is an idiot. Jorian. He kills the sister, a high-level fairy, and it ignites the rage of Aramantha, who loses her sister to humans who she already doesn't like. I would say that's the back end of where this all comes from. She hates humans.
Do you know? Good job. You got it.
I got it.
Do you know the scene in Indiana Jones where he has to jump from one?
No, I've never seen Indiana Jones.
Oh, God, you're hard. That's hard for me.
Yeah.
All right, never mind.
But sure. Yes.
Well, anyway, I was just gonna say that was you finding your words. Well, there's a scene where like he has to pick between the left and the right.
I think I've seen that. I've seen.
And he has to jump from stone to stone.
Yes.
It was just funny.
So then she loves Tamlin. She wants to be with Tamlin.
Yes.
He does not want to be with her.
No.
And Tamlin says some off, not so kind things to her.
Sure.
I mean, she's wild. But Tamlin,
she's an evil person, and Tamlin is not.
Tamlin is not as much. And Tamlin is kind of like not wanting to be married to her forever. Well, she then like convinces all the High Lords. She does some trickery to get all the High Lords to kind of dampen their powers to her.
Yes.
Which again, the magic is confusing because they really just apply it very randomly.
There's no.
I don't
rules.
understand it that much. But there's this curse. Well, all right. So then she has the power. She's kind of the boss a little bit. She's accumulated, and Tamlin, whatever, wants to. You just do it. You just do it.
No,
you took notes.
I'm gonna let you do the rest. I'll do the rest of the book. You finish chapter 32.
I like the end of the book. I have funny thoughts about it, but you can do the plot, I guess.
No,
well, the rest of the whole book
done,
is plot.
You're
All
almost
right.
done with chapter
So
32.
she invites a whole bunch of people to a masquerade party. And she's like, I'm going to forgive Tamlin. Let's all celebrate, whatever. And then she invites them to this masquerade party. And at the masquerade, she asks Tamlin again to be with her. She demands that he be with her.
Yeah, well, yes.
And he says no.
He says no.
And then she puts a spell on all of the people in the spring court, including Tamlin. And the only way the spell could be broken is if
Here's the good stuff.
if Tamlin falls in love with a human who the human must love him back, and the human must also have killed a fairy
That wasn't attacking her.
that wasn't attacking her.
Just killed a fairy out of
Because of the rage.
cold blood.
She does not love fairies, yes,
Yes.
because she hates fairies.
Because she hates fairies.
And then
Literally,
Tamlin must fall in love with her, and
the
she must
the
say,
beginning
I
of
love
the
you.
plot.
Yes.
The beginning of the book. What must happen in order for him to break the spell is the first chapter of the book.
Okay.
Right?
Yes. Well, yeah. So then you learn that Tamlin was sending out people early on. He was just sending out his friends because his friends were like, I'm willing to die for this cause, for the spring court. Like, I'll go out and I will die so that you could fall in love with the person who kills me and save your people, which is a noble thing to do.
Do you think when his boys were going out, there'd be like a hunter or huntress, and they'd be like, nah, Tamlin deserves better?
I don't know.
Nah, you think they waited for Farah?
Wasn't there a few people that came? Farah, that's how we would pronounce it. I
Yes.
pronounce her name as Faye.
Farah?
Faye. I almost call her
Oh,
Fair.
Farah?
Fair.
It's like Tara, Tara,
Fair.
Sarah.
I have no idea how to pronounce this woman's name.
Here
Fair.
we are. We don't even know.
It's
We're-
weird though, that it's fairy. It's an
I know.
allusion. What is the word? Alliteration.
Yeah, I think.
What
it's,
is if you miss differently spelled word?
I'm not sure.
It's not alliteration, but
No, definitely not.
there's a word for that.
Yeah, I'm
What
not
fair
going
is
to
to
find
fairy.
it in my brain.
You're not gonna find it.
Nope, I'm not
Okay.
even looking.
What her
Because
name
I know
is
I don't
to
have
fairy.
it.
Okay.
You know when, like, because someone comes
Of
over. If you
course.
came over and you were like, "Hey, Sebastian, do you have any eggplant here?" No, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna peek
It's
around.
not in there.
No,
Yeah,
it's not
you
in
know.
there.
I
I
got
know
you.
it's not there.
Yes.
Beautiful. So then she's like, I'm gonna go to the mountain and I'm gonna go tell him I love him. And it's so shitty because she was so close to telling him that she should have just said she loved him when he left.
Yes.
When she was about to leave, that was probably Tamlin's like big swing. He's like, I'm gonna tell her to leave and I'm gonna say I love you. And hopefully on the way out, she's gonna say it back.
Did he say it?
Yeah.
Oh,
He said I love you, and she didn't say it in return.
I don't remember that, but okay, interesting.
Yes. Remember we talked about that was a big move that you were like, that's a big move that guys do.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
say I love
yeah,
you. Do you remember this now?
Yes, I do.
Cool.
Okay, interesting.
And so she's like, I'm going to go to the mountain. Great. So chapter 33, I'm
so
going to
do you think it would have just? I thought in a way that he was kind of protecting her. Do you think the spell would have just been broken immediately?
Yes.
Oh, would have.
I assume so. Unless there's some loophole that that the evil woman had.
Okay. For 3, so he does that with 3 days left too.
Yes.
Yeah, she should have just said it.
She should have just said it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She held back.
Yeah.
Which I get. You don't want to say I love you on the way out the door.
Yes, but
She's
got to be really.
Robbie, it's just one more reason to say I love you.
You're right.
It's just
That's what that is.
for me.
Say it. That's what Sarah J. Maas wants us to know, is that you should say I love you, because you never know.
This book has never given me more of a reason to say I love you to someone.
That's beautiful.
Because not only is it good to express my emotions, but what if an evil queen set a spell on him, and by me saying that out loud, everyone will be cured, an entire plane of existence.
Yeah, I agree.
So not only is it good for me to feel openly,
Yes.
but I could be saving the fucking realm.
Yes, you could.
So,
And the realm needs saving, so that could be.
of course I do. Can I take over now?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate
Take
that.
over.
33.
I'm curious to see, what your take on all this was.
All right. We will go through it, and I'll tell you what's going on through my mind. 33. She arms herself to go to the mountain. Waste of time. We all know it's a waste of time. She does not need any weapons. Yada yada. If she admitted her love, it'll be okay. And then before she leaves, the help gives her a few rules.
Alice,
thank you. I forgot her name. Don't drink the wine. Don't make deals. Don't trust the soul, even Tamlin.
Okay.
Right? Those are good rules.
Yeah.
She breaks all of them.
Yep.
Of course she does.
Yep.
And I felt like I was in a horror movie when it's like, don't drink the wine, and then she's like, I'm like, don't! I'm yelling at the book.
Yeah.
Don't!
She didn't have a choice.
She didn't.
She doesn't have a choice. She doesn't really have many choices to make in the
When she's
under the mountain.
When she's on trial, in the trials.
Yes.
During the trials.
The whole thing is wild. The whole end is so funny to me.
So chapter 34 dragged her into the throne room, right? All the high fairies are there and stuff like that. She sees Amarantha, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I assume how we say her name.
Aramantha? I don't know.
Aramantha. All right. And you know what color hair she had, Rob?
She had red hair. What a queen.
I was worried what side you were going to take. I read that. I said, "Oh no, Rob's not safe." Rob's not. If Robbie came in with a mask,
I might have smooched Aramantha.
If you came in with a mask stuck to your face, I go, "What'd you do?"
Well, I will say this.
What'd you do,
of
Robbie?
course, related to Risen the most out of any character in the book. Finally.
You jumped. Lucian is now an angel in this part, and now you've jumped to somebody. You look for the unlikable character.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Lucian, now all of a sudden, I literally
A powerful redhead sex slave? What are we talking about? That's what he is.
And that's who you are.
No, but
You said that's who you related to.
Yeah, I liked Risen.
Well, then how do you relate? What do you mean you related to then?
I guess, I don't know. I don't know what I mean.
Okay, well, we need to articulate ourselves.
I guess I liked Risen. I liked Risen the most. He might be my favorite character.
Okay, you can
in the book.
That's great. You can like him. To say I related to him the most.
Related to him, probably not as much.
Okay.
I can't. It's a wild world.
Totally.
I mean,
I only asked that because you said you related to him, and I want to know how you
no,
felt.
I guess I don't really relate to any of the fairies. I don't relate to anyone in this world. Do you feel like you relate to anyone?
Probably the father the most.
The father?
Yeah.
Of who?
Of Farah.
Oh.
Like weak, but pretending not to be.
Okay. Okay.
So
I disagree with that.
I know, I'm making a joke.
Okay.
I'm not worried about. I don't think I'm the father.
I just remember how she goes. She let him die. You would have done anything to save your. That's what the sister says. I don't think you would ever let. I think you would if you were in love with someone. I think you would do.
Yeah, I would go.
Anything
I
in the
would
world.
try.
You would be like obsessed with trying to figure out if somebody had some situation.
Well, slow down. I'm gonna get a couple DMs.
Okay.
If you keep
I'm just letting you know. I think that
you keep talking that
that
way,
was a big thing that I really stuck out to me when the sister said that. How dad let mom die.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's. Really
But
bad.
I get it's just like
I got the worst DM this week.
I don't know what.
It was. Oh God, the people aren't even trying anymore. They said this. Single.
That's not that bad.
I got another one, but I didn't want to read it.
Okay. A mean one.
No, it wasn't mean. It was just like, hey, yeah, it doesn't matter.
It was about going out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going out with anyone.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
That is.
If you don't know, I got my apartment. Everything's in flux over here.
Yeah.
My apartment is a disaster, but it's that you got to make a mess to make it nice. It's beautiful. So she's dragged into the throne room. Tamlin's 10 feet away from her.
Yeah.
And Tamlin's looks like he's a curse has gone over him.
Yeah, I didn't love Tamlin in this phase. I get what he's trying to do a little bit. Well, he's just not in control. The only person that has power in this situation is Aramantha.
I understand what he's doing. He's like, I won't show emotion because she'll just use it against me.
Yes.
He's trying to protect people, I think.
Yes.
And to get there, and what's scary is that they're fresh off a torturing of another human.
Yes.
To see
like a intensely crazy torture.
like the flesh was still in the room.
Yes.
Right?
Her friend that she has to see.
Claire's body was nailed to the wall and was rotting.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you go there, the man you love isn't even looking at you, a redhead smoke show's sitting on the throne, and the girl from town's nailed to the wall, burnt.
Yeah.
Who
they thought was you.
Yeah. Woof. That is bad. And then the crazy thing is the Gorian's eye is in Amaranthin's. She has a ring with his eye because she couldn't kill him. So that's how she keeps him alive. And then she has his spirit in there.
Yes. She could have killed him, but that was
even more
easy
torturous.
Way out.
Yes. To be trapped, that's like paralyzed. You can't live. You could just observe the horrors.
Yeah.
This is an evil.
Yeah, she's a wild lady.
She's a witch with a switched first letter.
Yeah. She is a fairy. Yeah.
I was thinking bitch.
You were thinking bitch.
She's horrible. She's a horrible person.
Yeah, she's horrible.
And
I think she's kind of funny. In a lot of ways. But we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
She's funny in a not purposeful way for the story.
She's not a comedian.
No. She's funny. It's corny.
Exactly. She's the whole
So she's like, I'm going to do 3 tasks and Tamlin is yours. Right?
Or solve this riddle.
Or solve a riddle.
Which, come on.
Did you try to solve the riddle?
No, I didn't try to solve the riddle.
I did.
You did.
Did
you solve it immediately?
No.
I mean, what the answer is would be my guess.
Me too.
Just because of what the book is.
Yes. At first I thought.
Like, I would just be like, it's probably something to have to do with that. I was like, I'm going to read. I'm not going to spend time trying to. I think I read it twice, the riddle. But I just wanted to read the book. So you stopped to try to solve it.
I love riddles.
I know.
So that.
But this is the answer is the most obvious.
I know. At first I thought time. Do you want to read the riddle?
Yeah, we could read the riddle.
Yeah.
But like all the arbitrary rules, she does too. It's just like, all right, the riddle or the 3 trials. So which then kind of ruined the book for me because it's like, all right,
well,
she's gonna do like you could kind of know then that the riddle will be what sets her free. Because why give it as an option? You know what I mean? Like why set this up?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, she's just gonna say the riddle in like a time of need, and like that'll be what happens. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. So then chapter 35, she gets thrown in the prison. Lucian is in the cell. He comes, he heals her. So Lucian is such an aid for her, which is great. And I'm like, okay, Robbie, I'm on board with Lucian now. And of course, Robbie shows up and isn't a Lucian fan anymore. All of a sudden,
I like Lucian.
All of a sudden,
no, I like Lucian.
All of a sudden,
I said
he's a fan of the worm with the teeth.
No, I still like Lucian, and I think Lucian's great. I also like Rizend.
This was a moment where
probably more than both. I don't know. Lucian is way more in the story.
Well, Lucian, Farrah also shows up for Lucian when they like say the name and like she's about to hurt Lucian.
Yes.
And she says Farrah.
Yeah.
Because she sees how evil his family is and like what they're gonna do. You know.
Lucian's family.
Yes.
Yes.
So Farrah steps up to the plate, and Lucian's like, we are friends.
Yes.
That moment, like, solidifies it. And then after that moment, we have this riddle. And, Robbie, why don't you go ahead and read the riddle aloud?
There are those who seek me a lifetime, but we never meet, and those I kiss who trample me beneath ungrateful feet. At times I seem to favor the clever and the fair, but I bless all those who are brave enough to dare. By large, my ministrations are soft-handed and sweet, but scorned, I become a difficult beast to defeat. For though each of my strikes lands a powerful blow, when I kill, I do it slow. What is it?
So let's just give the answer now.
You want to give the answer now?
Yeah.
Love.
Love is the answer.
I just assume love. Like, I don't know. This is a love
bad
book.
This is a bad riddle for love.
I agree.
This is a bad This is bad for speaking for love.
Well, this
when
is
I
coming
kill,
from
I do it slow.
This is coming from a woman who's never
broken.
experienced love.
Yes, whose form of love is capturing and torturing people.
If
she doesn't get it.
I also want to say this. I guess I had this revelation later in the book, but I'm just going to say it now. They're not immortal. They can die. A lot of them die.
Yes.
And you can die. You can be killed.
They just
you
don't get
can commit suicide. It sounds actually amazing.
Yeah, it's
I would take this.
Better than Tuck Everlasting.
Yeah, I would take this for sure because you can die.
Yes, you can die.
And people do die.
So eventually you'll just...
Like when her sister died. I'm like, oh, yeah, people die.
Yeah, people die.
So, like, yeah, I would take this. I would prefer to be a fairy than a human. It was also funny how when she saw her, I guess the man, when she was like, oh, he's so human. He's so human.
Yeah.
Like, she looked down upon humans.
Well, I thought, in my mind, that's like you went to the big city and then you went, oh, he's so country. He's
exactly.
He's not just a small town boy, you know? But this is just a bad representation for love for me. At times, I seem to favor the clever and the fair. What the fuck does that mean about love? But I bless all those who are brave enough to dare. That's the only line I relate to, I want to say.
I get that, the clever and the fair. I think it's easier to find love if you are clever.
And the fair.
The fair, I don't know if I agree with.
We should call ourselves that, the clever and the
clever
fair.
and the fair.
The clever and the fair.
My ministrations are soft-handed and sweet, but scorned, I become a difficult beast to defeat. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's like if you really think about it, it's love.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it works.
It more sounds like a bad poem someone wrote about love than a riddle. A riddle is like
I would have just taken
right
a stab
twice a day,
at it.
and you know, like it's like a riddle. You go, oh, there was no at the end of this riddle.
Yes, no, it wasn't clever.
There's no of course, and I'll tell you this.
It was more a little bit of course, just because it's a book about love.
Well,
and the key to the whole thing is love.
Yes, but there was not that aha moment.
Yes,
Sarah J. Maas, you got to outsource when it's time for riddle
riddles?
time. You gotta go to someone that does escape rooms or something like that. You gotta go to someone that writes riddles.
Okay.
Because that riddle was poor.
Okay.
So
escape rooms are riddles.
Escape rooms are riddles.
I've never been in an escape room.
Really?
Yeah.
I love them. I wish I never taught shit on them on the internet. It would be a perfect first date for me.
Okay.
It would be a perfect later date.
Yeah.
I love them so. I did one this summer. I had such fun. I felt so proud of myself. I felt smart.
It feels good to accomplish a task.
I felt great.
It feels good.
And I did a really good job.
That's great.
And I remember looking at everyone. I'm like, they probably think I'm a little smarter now.
I think they think you're smart.
No. So then they read the riddle, yada yada. She's like, either finish the trials or do the riddle. Of course, she goes to the trials. She's in a massive arena. There's trenches. It's filled with mud. And they're like, oh, you're a huntress, okay? Go ahead. You're going to have to hunt something. What appears? A giant worm with razor-sharp teeth that's just chasing around.
Tough.
It almost feels like it's stolen from another sci-fi movie.
Well, Dune has a worm.
That's what it is, I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Dune has the worm.
Right?
With razor-sharp teeth.
With razor-sharp teeth. I feel like it's been in other stuff, too.
Yeah.
I feel like if we're
this book borrows a lot of things from other books. From other stories.
Yeah, not very original.
No. It's original in the way that it has arranged already existing tropes and stories into creating a new one.
Yeah, it's unique,
but
not original.
Yes, exactly.
So, and it's like, if we're going to be in the fairy world, let's have attack a fairy thing.
Yeah.
I would have rather her had to deal with fairies or something, or
Yeah.
some sort of mythical being, rather than
I
just.
think this was a mythical beast, right, of some sort.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm thinking of the Beetlejuice worm, because there's that giant worm in Beetlejuice that's outside the house too.
Okay.
You never seen.
Not in a long time. I don't remember Beetlejuice.
So, and of course she falls down. She's in a tight maze, and where she's surrounded by bones.
Yeah.
When you're fighting the evil monster, it's guaranteed you're gonna be surrounded by bones.
Yeah.
There's never been a scenario where they go clean up the bones from the monster battles.
Yeah. Other human bones.
They're human bones.
Yeah.
Right? And she goes, and then she figures out, she goes, wait a second. The worm's blind.
Blind worm. Helps her.
It helps her, so she basically makes spikes.
Are all worms blind?
I think so.
Okay.
You
'Cause
ever
I
cut a
think the
worm
other-
did you ever do the cut the worm in half
Yeah,
and see it
yeah.
become two?
Yeah.
Has to hurt.
Yeah.
Imagine you fuck yourself.
What?
Someone cuts you in half and you go, oh, damn, who's that behind me?
Oh, the worm. fucks
The
itself.
worm.
I don't think the worm can fuck.
The worm. Well, then how do they make babies?
Snip, snip, snip. I don't know. They lay
You think
eggs.
all worms are just divided
They lay
and
eggs.
grow?
There's one long ass worm.
You think there was just one worm?
Yeah.
That this is like a Jesus fable. the origin of the worm, the first worm. No, to be a worm and to be cut in half and go who's that? Oh my God, who's that piece of worm behind me? And then all of a
Maybe.
sudden you end up in a long relationship just to find out. Be like, anyways, who's your mother?
That's what it would be.
Who's your father? Wait a second. Who's your sister? You got none? Who's your brother? You got none? Oh, God. I'm dating myself again. And then it's like, hey, I'm Polly.
A poly worm.
What do you mean you're Polly? Yeah, I got cut in half also. All right, so chapter 36. You can tell I really love this part of the book if I'm just riffing on worms rather than talk about it. She basically tricks him, and she kills the worm, it jumps into the thing, gets stabbed by all the bones.
Yes.
But she hurts her arm really bad.
Also, Lucian saves her life.
With what?
He yells out, right?
Yes. Yeah, he yells.
And warns her
yes, and
not to move.
they're furious.
Yeah.
She is furious that Lucian saved her life.
Yeah.
Right? Lucian is in big trouble. Lucian and her are on teams. Thank you, Robbie. This is why you're here, babes.
Lucian helped her before the trial, too. He came down and did something.
He healed her. She was
healed
in
her.
pain.
Yes.
From like the journey and being thrown on the grounds and stuff like that.
And she got beaten
yes.
when she first goes to the cell.
Yes.
She gets beaten.
So she's taken care of. So then she's bleeding out. It's so bad. Right? She's like delirious. She's going to die. And who comes to visit her?
Risind.
He comes. He's like, I could heal your arm. But
We also we must note that Risind allowed Claire Better to die and said that he does not know the difference between what humans look like when he like clearly was lying because he's seen her a few times at this point. So we're like, all right, why is Risind just allow Claire to die and like lied on behalf of
because he's a little shit.
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out at this point in the book.
Because
which I guess we eventually learn. But that was an eye raise, obviously.
So he comes, he visits, and he's like, he could see how hurt she is, and she needs to be healed because she's like delirious, dying.
Yeah.
And she's like, she won't leave. He proposes like, hey, I'll heal you, but you need to spend 2 weeks out of the month with me. Every month, and I'll heal you after you leave these trials.
Yes.
And she's like debating. She's like, will Lucian come help?
Which is also crazy because that's him, Aramantha's right-hand man, assuming that she'll survive these.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they say the terms of the deal ever in the book, right?
What do you mean?
I think that he just puts the tattoo on.
No, they say the terms.
Oh, they do. Like Tamlin knows?
Yes.
And Aramantha knows? So he goes,
Not,
if she survives,
I think Tamlin knows because
okay.
after when they're in later.
Okay.
But Tamlin definitely knows. But she's like, do I risk this? Don't take a deal. Don't take a deal. And so finally, she's like, I'm gonna die. Let's do 1 week.
Yes.
He's like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm happy they didn't debate too long.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, 1 week, sure, I'll do 1 week.
He was making me laugh.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, because she's like, I don't know if Lucian's gonna come save me. Should have. I don't know. The interesting thing was, I don't know if Lucian knows how easily humans could die.
Yes.
And I was like, oh yeah, that is interesting. And then all of a sudden she wakes up. She's got a tattoo all over her arm.
Yeah.
And there's an eye in the middle of her hands, right? And that's him just basically being like, hey, I own you.
Yep.
I own you 1 week a month.
Yeah.
It's like a bad divorce deal.
Yeah.
Right? So then they're putting her not only is she doing these tasks, but she also has to be the help while she's there.
Yeah.
And these like lower fairies are really shitting on her.
Yeah.
So they're making her clean the spit with an impossible task, right? She's washing so hard in chapter 38 that she can't clean it. She's rubbing and it's not cleaning the floors. And then all of a sudden she gets a little help.
Yes.
Who helps her?
Risen?
Yeah. To dump the water and it cleans it all away.
Yeah.
Right? And then she has to then pick out all the lentils from Rizin's fireplace.
Oh, this is
And then he shows up and he cleans all the lentils for her and he gets annoyed. He goes, stop screwing around with my property now.
Yeah.
Right? So he's annoyed because he's like, don't fuck around with her. She's mine. If someone's gonna fuck with her, I'm going to.
Yeah.
Which he does then. And I think this is interesting because he's like, I can't tell you the riddle either. I was sworn I can't tell you.
Yeah.
So it's like clearly he wants to help her.
Yes.
And
which we know at this point.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Chapter 39, she saw no one for a long time, and then some fairies come in together, and they start painting her body.
Yes.
Now, the Thorny book, I could have used a little more descriptors with the body paint.
Yes.
I'm sorry, we're painting a body?
Yeah.
Let's do a skin-to-skin paint.
Yeah.
Right? So they're painting the body, and that's so she's going to escort Resin to this party, this big party that they're having. And he painted her so he could see if anyone else touches her.
Yes.
The most controlling thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. I guess Tamlin.
What?
To see if Tamlin would touch her? Like, who's going to touch her?
He said he painted to see if I would know if anyone touches you.
Yeah.
I assume Tamlin, but also the other fairies are fucking with her too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he probably doesn't feel safe at all after the lentil stunt that they pulled.
Yeah.
Putting lentils in the fireplace so you can't get them out.
To make her clean. Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? So he's like, there's a human here, and she's not safe.
Yeah.
But also he doesn't want to deal with Tamlin, right?
Then she drinks the wine.
And she says something. He says something, excuse me. He says, Farrah, I don't like my belongings tampered with. Resin owned her, and she hated that.
Yes.
This is just another example in this book, if we're going to learn from this book, Robbie,
Okay.
that when this guy made her his property, she was disgusted.
Yes. Nobody wants to be anyone else's property.
Tamlin said, you could go and come as you want. I'm here.
Yeah.
You go as you want. This guy was so overprotective
Yes.
that he's painting her. Don't even talk to anyone else.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's, like, trying to romance her at all. Like, I don't think he knows the deal.
He's trying to aggravate her.
Yeah.
He's trying to make her feel.
He's trying to make her and Tamlin pissed.
Yes.
Which he eventually gets to.
She goes. He told Tamlin that he gets her once a week then at the party.
Oh.
And Tamlin's annoyed. And then she drinks the wine. he forces her to drink the wine,
yeah.
basically. He's like, drink it, and she's like, I know I shouldn't. Drinks it, instant blackout.
Yeah.
She blacked out so many times.
During this phase, every night. They start doing the full paint and wine every night, and she just grinds on him, basically.
I guess so, because
that's kind of what we
because they're Lucian. Then
he
she
touches
blacks
her
out,
hips.
wakes up, and Lucian's there, and he doesn't want to tell her what happened.
Yeah.
Right. And basically, she was grinding on him as he sat down.
Yeah.
So almost like a lap dance.
Yeah. Pretty much a lap dance every night.
Every night, he's just getting a lap dance from the human.
Yes.
While Tamlin has to watch.
Yes.
Evil.
Yeah. Wow.
This is this is why I asked you how you related to this character.
Well, he reveals that his. I still don't think he will end up being a great person in the second book, but he could have been worse.
He definitely could have been worse, but he's also not it's not you
he's not
at
a
all.
Good person. No.
I just thought Lucian is really stepping up to the plate in the second half of the book.
Yes.
He's a true friend.
Yes.
Which I think is beautiful. And so she's just basically
he was a good guy.
He ends up being a very good guy.
Yeah.
He just has a little trauma and that he gets through.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I still would relate to Lucian the most. He was just not the main character of this part.
And so basically she does this night after night after night, right?
Yeah.
Chapter 40, we'll go to the second trial. Let's just jump to the second trial, right? This no romance, all plot, right? But I guess the romance is how far she's willing to go for love.
Correct.
How much? I hope Tamlin
it's also
likes
to save the world.
Well, yes,
and all of her people.
I know. This
It's
book
to
does
save
layer
humanity.
this on top of this.
She could kill. Her plan is to destroy all humans. Aramantha.
Tamlin better like to act to services because
Yeah.
Farrah's being put through the freaking ringer.
I don't understand why she doesn't just kill her immediately. Like, I don't understand why Aramantha goes through all this bullshit.
Because it's fun. And, well, why does the James Bond villain have to toy?
Yeah.
It's fun. They're evil people. They like to toy.
Yeah.
Right? Because she feels like she has so much power that she'll win no matter what.
Yeah.
So the second trial,
But to give a riddle where the answer is love and then your whole world is over to someone who's like, I'm here for love. I'm doing this for love.
You at least have to Rumpelstiltskin it.
Yeah. Like what? I don't know. What does Rumpelstiltskin do?
He says if you could guess, he goes, if you could guess my name, I'll give you your child's.
Yeah. And his name was Rumpelstiltskin.
And then he goes, you'll never guess. And then the two are walking by, and he's in his room spinning his golden thread, and he's going, Rumpelstiltskin, they'll never guess my name. Rumpelstiltskin's my name. They'll never guess it. And then they go the next day, they go, Rumpelstiltskin. And they go, you heard me. At least his was a hard.
Yes.
He died. He lost from hubris.
Yes.
She lost from being a moron.
Yes.
She lost from setting the bar too low.
Way too low. Well, it's just like the variance between the trials and the riddle, the love riddle.
Well, I mean,
was ridiculous.
Yes, because the trials, the next thing, she's in a pit. Lucian's in a pit. There's these things like that are coming towards them that are going to smush them, and she has to pull a lever to basically stop it.
Yes.
And she has to read this thing to figure out which one happens. As we all know, Farrah, illiterate.
Yes.
Tough.
But
then, a plot twist. She goes to reach for the second lever, and her hand starts hurting. The eyes start squinting. That's on her hand that was put there by
Risen.
Of course. Then she goes to the first one. Her hand starts hurting again. And then she goes to the third one. Feels good.
Pain.
Good as could be.
Yeah.
She knows that Risen is guiding her to success.
Yes. And she can trust him at this point.
And she trusts him. So she pulls the third after all that grinding.
Well, her thing is like, oh, it's also only grinding.
Yes.
I guess. She was confused why it was stopping there.
Well, yes.
Yeah, which we find out.
So
Risen really helps her with the second trial.
Risen, and she pulls the lever. Her and Lucian both survive. Thank God.
Yes.
Thank God. Right? And then we find out in the next chapter that in that chapter, that he could read her thoughts too.
Risen.
Well,
he always could be able to do that. He did that before, earlier.
Yes. Yeah, he did it in the house too. You're right.
And when they first meet and he holds her brain.
Yes, and he goes,
I guess he has lower powers, but he still has some powers.
He definitely has powers, and
it was interesting because his powers are not brute force. Like Tamlin's brute force. I guess
Tamlin's
that's
a
why
monster.
I was like, I liked his powers more. He's
More
like has
manipulative.
wings, not manipulative. I guess so, but I'm not like a brute force person.
No, you're more brains.
I would prefer to be able to read somebody's mind than like just turn into a really powerful wolf or something.
I also
He can
has
fly.
healing abilities.
Yeah,
and he can fly, right?
which is cool.
It-
It's cool to see how the fairies
I will
differ.
say this:
What?
I need a rule about the fairies.
I know. We need
It's-
something.
Yeah, there's just no rules at all in this book.
I'm interested to see if they're gonna make it into a movie. I guess. I guess
yeah.
I would go see the movie. I don't know. Would you? I guess we could talk about that after.
Yeah, I probably would. Basically, she's like sad. She's like, I can't believe how dumb I am. I can't believe I needed his help. I can't believe how stupid I am as a human, right?
Yeah.
And then she starts thinking about, this was interesting, which I thought applies to us, man. She goes, I'm doing all of these trials. I'm doing all of these things to love someone, to be with someone for at best decades.
Oh yeah.
I'm risking my life for decades.
Yeah.
When he is risking them for centuries.
Yeah.
I would just be a blip in his time.
Yes.
And to think about like
That was interesting.
to think about love in the term of how quick decades go,
Yeah.
and it made me feel bad.
Well, yeah, she put a lot of things into perspective. Like fairies put a lot of things into perspective.
Yeah.
Because this guy's lived so long already, and she would just be able. Yeah, that was that was an interesting perspective.
Yeah, like time moves forward, but not
Yes.
and you don't have a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I guess she's like, I'm really suffering, and I'm so stupid for doing all this for something that I won't be as important to him. Maybe.
Which I wish though it wasn't like also the stakes of the whole world was gonna burn.
I wish
It
that
makes it
wasn't
less
too.
romantic.
Yes, it does make it less romantic. But
It's really necessary that, but that's also why Risen's helping. That's why everyone.
I'll tell you, this book does a bad job of balancing between romance and world building.
Yeah.
It does neither fully.
Yeah.
Clip
it.
She's like, yeah, no, I would never for the girlies. They would.
No, I think they agree. This
Um,
woman at my job the other day was talking about it, and she was like, she has read all of them,
she just does both.
and she was just like, it's crack. It's like not. She's just like, I'm addicted to it. It's not good, but I just like it.
It just whatever. Here's the thing. This is Sarah J. Maas's world, and we're just living in it.
That's what it is.
She just gets to choose
She just
from
decides
page to page what magic is and what a
She's
fairy is.
Aramantha, baby.
She is really.
She created the whole,
She
what's
gets
a
to do whatever she
fairy?
wants.
What's magic? Where's the world? Yeah, it's very hard to. There's no rules. There's not a lot of
and that's-
consistent rules.
No.
Which is, as a Virgo, confusing.
Very. So basically, she's like, "Fuck it, I'm getting drunk all the time."
Yeah.
no.
Well, I don't think she decides that.
No, but she's like, "I'm gonna just get drunk," like you know.
Yeah, she has to every night.
Yeah, but I think she's enjoying it now. She's just like, you know what, this hurts.
Well, she gets to
this
black
hurts.
out,
Yes.
leave reality.
Yeah, she's like, that's not the worst thing.
Yeah.
I think it's nice for her to leave reality.
Yeah.
Because of how much pain she's in. She's at the last party then, chapter 42, the last party before the third trial. And, oh no, who's touching her?
Risen? No, Tamlin.
Tamlin. And they sneak off and they
The
have a
last
moment.
trial. Before the last party or the last trial? I thought it was before the last trial.
This is the last party before the trial. The last party before the last trial.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right?
And he comes up behind her.
And they're like touching hands, and then all of a sudden she follows him, and they sneak off, and what did they do?
They smooch.
You better believe it. A little smoochy
And
swooshy.
he was wild.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was like an aggressive smooch.
He bit her,
Yeah.
but she liked it.
Yeah.
He bit her. In
But
a
she
good way.
liked it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they get caught, of course, and because there's smears all over her, she gets sent to her cell. Resin's pissed, and Resin kisses her then.
Yes.
And that was the first time Resin kissed her, because I think he was annoyed.
And does Tamlin see? I forget. I think so.
I think he sees it.
Yeah.
He does it on purpose to fuck with Tamlin.
Yeah.
Right? But then we find out about his past.
Risen's past.
Yeah. Which is sad.
Which, I forget. Remind me. His parents? His dad?
Basically, everyone got fucked over and died.
In his court?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he got screwed over by...
Is this when we find out he is legitimately her sex slave?
Yes.
He
That
was
he's
her
there.
sex
Yes.
slave, and is this when he comes forth about everything?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
like, I've been trying to help you. I'm trying to
Yes.
save humanity.
This is right before...
I'm trying to
everything.
make Tamlin angry
Yep,
because I need him to kill her.
He's-
He's more powerful than me.
Everything's on the table.
Yes.
We find out how shitty she was to the family, killed people. She becomes a sex slave, and he's like, Tamlin sucks to me, but I need Tamlin.
I liked it how she was like, why did she choose you? And he's like, I mean, come on. I am
come
hot. Look at me.
And
I mean, look at this face.
That's the moment I want you to relate to.
Yeah, of course. I don't think I'm as good. I don't think. Although, wait, I will say this. This is actually what I will say. In the acknowledgments,
I didn't read the acknowledgments.
she thanks my king himself,
Who?
Henry Cavill. And I don't think she knows him. So I'm like, which
For
character?
inspiration?
Which character did? That's all. That's probably why I knew there was something in my head that was like,
Oh,
that's
here he
funny.
goes, Henry Cavill.
Yeah. So I'm like,
And
which one does she
everything-
see as Henry Cavill?
And everything
Risen?
ever from Nacho Libre.
So I'm thinking that Henry Cavill is who would he be? I hope not Tamlin.
Probably Tamlin.
You don't think Risen?
He's a leading man, Henry.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just people say I have said I look like Henry Cavill. I have not gotten it in months.
I stopped reading the acknowledgments when it said, to be honest, I'm not quite sure where to begin with these acknowledgments. All right, I'm done with that.
I
I said, okay, if you can't put any effort into like, we never need to start a speech with,
I agree.
I wasn't sure what to say. I was sitting there thinking, what do I want to say about blah, blah.
Yes.
Right? I never
We can
need
just
to
get
know-
to the point.
Get to the fucking point.
Yes, I agree.
I never need to know how
That
hard it was
sentence
to...
is unnecessary.
It's like...
You can just start my eternal gratitude and love too.
It's truly like a beginner writer wrote that. So as soon
I
as...
think this is probably a beginner. Was this her first book?
Was this her first read? Is the real question. So
She's
I'm
not a
sorry.
comedian, Sebastian. She does not. I mean, you would think every word matters, right? In a book.
Yeah. I'm
She
not
doesn't
asking
waste-
her to be
I
a
don't think
comedian.
the actual book is super wasteful.
I'm not asking her to be a comedian. I mean, I do have problems with her.
Some of the writing.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Some of it doesn't. Make
I have problems with the logic. I have problems with the writing.
Yeah,
I'm not asking her to be funny.
Yeah, I meant more like the setup. Don't waste every word. Like it's important.
That's
like
just
don't
bad.
say
That's
things.
bad writing. That's bad
Yeah,
storytelling.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
bad
yeah.
speaking.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like a cliche of what someone does at their 16th,
Yes.
Sweet 16.
Yeah.
When I picked my 16th candle, I wasn't sure who I was gonna pick.
Yeah.
I sat there and thought, who means the most to the world to me? Right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Yes.
all right, just fucking tell me.
Yes, I agree.
So basically, everyone's mad serious. Chapter 43, we go to the third trial. Everyone walks in. Usually, everyone's cheering. No cheers. Everyone knows it's about to go down, right? She says,
I didn't like the third trial.
No, neither did I.
I thought it was stupid.
It was also
especially given
brutal.
what ended up happening.
Well, let's talk about it. She says, she screams, "I love you, Tamlin. I love you, Tamlin," which is nice.
Yeah.
But as you would say,
What would I say? It's not night. I don't know.
with JoJo,
It's too little, too late.
That's the ultimate example.
That is too little, too late. She was too little, too late.
Too little, too late to saying I love someone that you actually do love and saving the whole realm.
Yes, the whole entire world.
Yeah, maybe that was JoJo's inspo.
Yes.
So her last challenge is that she needs to kill 3 fairies.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, before they're all high fairies, and they're all masked, and one at a time they take the masks off, and she needs to stab him in the hearts. Jesus Christ. And she keeps. She tries to make her a good character by like being like, I feel bad.
Yeah, of course you feel bad.
But I don't want my main character stabbing people.
Yeah.
I just don't want that happening.
Most people don't.
I don't want that happening.
I was surprised she did it. I thought she was going to solve the riddle.
I thought that she was going to stab her because now she finally had an ash.
Yeah. Oh, that's another.
Because it started off. I thought that's what would happen.
Yeah. I thought she was going to solve the riddle. But when she kills the first fairy, I was like, oh, shit, this is going down.
And, of course, the first
one.
Which
I get her logic.
Yeah.
It's like that. I get it.
There's just better ways to have more likable characters.
Yes.
Than have her murder in cold blood.
Yeah, 3 times at this point. She already got tricked into killing someone, and she was guilty about it. And now she has to kill 2 more people.
And this one hurts.
She's like, I won't be able to do art anymore, which was interesting to me.
Yeah, no one's lost.
Yeah.
No one's lost. You create the best art. I feel seen. I understand you through your art.
Tamlin is that's the only place he's ever felt seen.
Tamlin went, no! Don't kill them! Your art! But your art! Not their lives. Oh, Tamlin, were you worried about their lives? And the paintings.
I guess they're immortal, which is also weird. You're killing somebody who's thousands of years old.
Yeah, I feel less bad, I guess.
Yeah.
But
still,
they have a life and a family.
I have no idea. Yeah, exactly.
Marcus Aurelius says there'll never be enough time.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So she kills the first one, take the other one off, kills the second person at least is going kill me.
Yeah.
Right. So, which is like, okay, she could only take so much of being like this villain. Third one comes off, you're never gonna believe. Of course, I'm like, who's gonna be under the third? I thought it was gonna be Lucian. But of course, who is it? Tamlin himself. And then she thinks for a second, and she goes, hey, remember all those times that they were like, Tamlin's pretty soft for a guy with a stone heart.
Yes.
Remember all those times? And she goes, what if that just was an expression? What if he had a stone heart?
This part was wild, too.
This part...
I also don't fully understand. So he dies but doesn't?
I think
she just needed to stab him, and that was the trial?
Yeah, because the word she used was kill.
Yeah. Which was weird.
It was so weird. And she stabs him, and of course, it's actually so corny to be like, oh, it's word play that saves the day.
Yeah.
Stone hard. I just thought that it was hard for him to love.
Yeah.
But
he has an actual stone heart. Which it gets reversed.
Of course.
When the thing gets reversed?
Yeah, when his thing comes off.
Okay.
And basically, so that happens, and then she's like, chapter 44. Of course, they skip chapters. Sometimes they be changing chapters, like it's
They skip chapters.
Not skip chapter. We have to go to the next chapter, like after she stabs him, right? Sometimes they play in between chapters, like it's like a week of television.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing here? I just have to read a couple more. Like it's like they're pretending like you don't want to stop now.
Yeah.
So basically, she stabs him. She pulls it out. She's like, "Oh, hard thug," and the tip is bent. She's like, "It was stone. The heart was stone. Hurrah, hurrah!" And of course, guess you'll never believe who's a sore loser.
Aramantha. She decides not to free them.
Yep.
She said, I will eventually. Maybe I'll do it in 50 years.
And who's pissed then?
Everyone.
And who goes to attack her?
I don't know. Faye?
Risen.
Oh, Risen.
Right? He
like, attacks her?
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to stand up. He doesn't want to be... Remember, he's outside telling her, I don't want to be stand by the side.
Yeah,
I knew I couldn't beat her, but I wanted to go down in history.
Yeah.
That I stood up for, you know?
Yeah.
So he attacks her. And then all of a sudden, I know the riddle answer.
Love, I'm doing this for love.
And all of a sudden she goes, love, and
That's it. Magic.
powers are back. Tamlin, he's lights shoot out of him. He beams. The face falls off. He becomes a tigress of a beast of a man. He goes to attack. Lucian throws him a sword. He grabs the sword, right through his skull.
Yeah.
I'm happy Lucian got the action.
Yes.
Lucian was like, I got the sword.
The assist.
The assist.
Wait, so then what? Then how? Because then Faye dies.
I guess in the fight, yeah, it doesn't
How
really
does
make
Faye
sense.
die?
Nah, I don't really know.
That was confusing to me too.
Because she blacks out.
During this,
Yeah.
during Tamlin killing.
Yeah. Maybe some magic is being thrown around.
I don't know.
Well, whatever. Something happens. It's just, this is Sarah.
She's watching it from above or something.
Rob,
This.
we just got mossed. Sometimes you.
I just don't get
sometimes
the
you masked.
logic. Yeah.
I wish I knew how to say her last name. Sometimes a chapter happens and then all of a sudden
Yes.
Farrah's dead. I go, we just got masked.
Yeah.
And Farrah's dead, and guess what? She wakes up. Hi, Fairy.
Yep. Let's go. I want to know what. I wonder what her shapeshift is. I'm not gonna read the second book, but I am curious.
Everyone says the second book's the good one.
People said the fifth book is the good one.
Oh, who knows? So basically, she wakes up in the throne room. She's a high fairy. They go.
And
They
that's
have
it.
a night together. They're like, okay, we're gonna go back. Then we go outside and we find out Reginald isn't that bad, and he's like, I'm gonna go back. I'll see
Yeah.
you soon.
I thought that he would not want to see her every month. Like,
Me
I
too.
thought that they would, because I think Tamlin was like, we'll work that out. We'll figure that out.
Yeah. Well, I assume that happens in the second book.
Yeah.
I assume there's a battle.
I was thinking Risen was going to be the villain of the second
Can
book.
I tell you what I think happens in the second book?
What?
2 dudes, 1 girl. She's tossed between the love of both of them.
You think she will fall in love with Risen?
Yeah.
I kind of was getting a little bit of that.
Yeah, because all of a sudden at the end he's nice,
Yeah.
and she's like, "It's amazing
And
that
she
you
does.
can fly."
The first sentence when Risen is introduced is the most handsome man I've ever seen.
Of course, and you know he's trouble at the
Yeah.
Firefest.
Yeah.
So
So that's made me be like, all right, this guy is gonna. She's very attracted to this other guy.
and he's gonna find his niceness with her. There was a nice line that I loved about that he said though. He goes,
Who? Risen?
Yeah, because I pity those who don't feel anything at all,
Yeah, of course.
and I think that's a beautiful line.
Yeah.
And I think that's, it's good to feel, as hard as it
course.
is. I think that was the lesson for Farrah. As hard as her battle was, it was good that she felt love for Tamlin
Yes.
and then saved the world.
Yes. She did also save the world.
And save the world. And her family's rich.
And everybody
And-
and humanity depended on it.
And she's getting some of the best D in all
of the
of
fairies.
Parinthia.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there we go. That's our book club. We did a whole book.
We did.
I'm so proud of us, Rob. I did not
Yeah.
think. You know what? After that first week, I had
You
a
thought
little.
I was gonna be done?
Was the pressure on for you?
This week I actually read ahead of time. The other 2 times I did have to finish a day of
Okay.
in the morning. But the first time was maybe 80 pages, and the second time was maybe 20 pages.
Good job.
And then today I did not read at all this morning.
That's great, Rob.
I finished this book Sunday morning. But
Oh.
basically, up until the second trial, I read Saturday night.
Well, I'm happy that you read the book. I can't believe we did it. We really did
Yeah.
it. We'll probably let us know.
We'll take a break from this for
We'll
sure.
take a break from the book. Let us know if there's any other book that you want to read or anything. I think it
People
was fun
said
to do a
pucking
book club.
around.
Yeah.
But I will say the fairy stuff is funny to me.
Fairy stuff is fun.
Because to go now and read like a book about 2 regular ass people,
You know what would be
just
nice
fucking,
also?
it seems a little more boring.
Yeah, but maybe not.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
We could see. It might be nice to watch a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
This felt like a movie. I guess they'll make it into a movie.
They'll make it. What do you mean? I guess they'll definitely will. Well, this is beautiful. Thank you all for
Even
being.
though I'm like, how can they do that? How is this even legal?
Because it's so.
Because it's Beauty and the Beast. It just copies so many things.
Well, I just want to say,
I guess you could just
thank
reuse
you all
stories.
for being here. This is the least horny book club. This is the least horny.
It was not horny
book
at
club
all
that you've ever been a part of. Zero coming from anyone in this room.
Nobody came.
We were worried to do this because of boners.
It was not horny
But
at all.
thank you all, Patreon members, for being here. Let us know if there's any other things that you want us to do. We're open to suggestions from you folks. If there's any other fun activities that you want us to recap or fun things that you want to do, and we could jump on the podcast and do. Beautiful. All right, Robbie, hit the music.